Hey folks, it's Frithgar here, how you doing? Welcome back to Farming Simulator 19 here on the Hagenstedt map. Let's get back to reliving the glory days. Oops, it's right there that I want to go. Is there 4 loads? Okay, maybe not quite 4 loads. Roughly 4 loads. At 3,800 a pop, we're looking at a good 14,000 euros. For just selling the straw off of this field, which is not too shabby, really. 14,000. The next field that I want to go and buy is field 14, if I can. That one is 200,000. So we want to be building up to 200,000 euros. We've got 39,000 at the moment. We've got in storage now with our barley. We got 35,000 litres of barley. We've also still got a few other crops there that we can go and sell. Best price for barley at the moment that we've seen is 1,111, which I believe is pretty close to about the best price that you're going to get. On here at the moment, we got at the restaurant, we got 1,073, which is pretty good. So I had a list of prices that gave you above which you should, you can look at selling. It was the top 25% range of all the prices, different prices that you're going to get. Barley is lower than wheat, but that 1,100 is pretty good. Beans are the only ones that will actually go above 3,000, but it's kind of rare. If it's above 2,800, that's in the top 25% price range. So you'd want to seriously consider selling when you get to that point. Which we might well do. We'll have to think about that. I'll do another pass. We'll do another round on here. And then once I've done another round, we will get one of the other tractors out and we'll start cultivating the field so that we can be ready for planting our next crop. Which this time round is going to be the oats. We've got this loose straw. I've got nowhere that I can tip loose straw at the moment because I don't think that the basic map doesn't have storage for it. So we'd have to get a storage facility, which is extra expense, which is money we don't have at the moment. So we will leave straw. We'll gather up the straw from this harvest. We'll gather up the straw from the next harvest. And then after that, we will wait and see. I really have no idea what we're going to do next. Whether or not we're going to alter anything extra. By the time we go and buy cows, we should have cycled through all of our crops and we'll be back to doing crops with straw. And hopefully have enough money to be buying some bales as well. Because I'd rather do that than have loose straw. Although if we've got loose straw, is that if that's what we've got to deal with, then that's what we've got to deal with. We'll cope with it as and when it happens. And we'll worry about it afterwards. I'm just going to get to the bottom of this run right here. And I'm going to go and empty out this straw. We will get the other tractor. We'll get the cultivator on that one. And that one can start working on the field. Like I said, this particular crop, we're not going to worry about doing the ploughing and stuff on this one. We will see about expanding the field on our next crop, because I want to cut down some of these trees up at the front if I'm going to do that. And I also want to get your responses to should we buy up all of the huge, great big chunk of land. And I can't do anything without those responses. I'm aware that my recording is a little bit ahead, so I'm having to wait a while before I get the responses, but this is the last kind of big game-changing decision that we want to make at the moment. Others are going to be smaller tweaks and alterations, such as there is a mod that you can make your own fertilizer, right? Now, do you want me... Let's start you up. We'll leave the road train right there. Do you want me to make my own fertilizer out of organic materials? Would you like me in this game? Oh yeah, of course, I bought an extra cultivator. I bought extra everything so that we could speed up the whole process in here as rapidly as possible. So we're going to use the argon here. You know what I could really do with? Some front weights. I could actually do with 2 front weights. So the Argon can stay there a second. We're going to go and have a look in the shop in here. Weight right there. And I think we could do with a medium weight. We'll go with the Agco weights. Right, you've got some different sizes here. You've got the 2,000, you've got 2-ton one there. You've got a 1,500, 1,100 there, and you got a little one over here at 650. I would say that we want the little one there for our Sammy tractor that we've got at the moment. So that's Class, Massey, Case, Fendt, Hardy. Sammy is closer to the Case IH, I think, than the Massey. It's a slight... I think it's that kind of red. So I'm going to buy that one there. That's for the Sammy Argon. And then I want to get a heavier one for the Fendt. I'm going to go for the 1,500 for the Fendt. Much heavier weight on this one. That's going to be Fendt Classic Green, that one is. And we're going to buy that one as well. So I've got a couple of weights for our tractors. Just going to jump off of that one a second, like that, and let's do this quickly, because I don't want to be messing around. I want to hurry up and get this done. I want to get this bit done so that I can, yes, I want to reset you to the shop, so that I can get started on working on the field. So let's start you up. I've got me 2 weights over there. I'll get me front weight on for this one. There we go. Beautiful. Put that one on there. That's going to make our job a lot easier. It's quite a weight, that is. I mean, the size of it, it should only be 650 kilos. But it's still a fair old weight, that one is. It's quite a size. And then we've got the Agco 1500 on the back, right there. We'll bring these back up to the farm. And then once I got these up to the farm, I can dump off the green weight ready for the Fendt. You can use that one. And we can start going with the cultivating in the field. Can I beat you? I don't know. Only 34k I'm doing on this one. Go on. Squeeze in front of him. Yes, look at that. I managed to cut him off. Fantastic. I don't actually need this weight at the moment on that tractor, so I'm just going to put it somewhere over here. Just a little bit out of the way. Not hugely out of the way, just enough out of the way so that it's not causing us any issues. Lower that down there. Yeah, what do you think of the idea? I got completely sidetracked. What do you think of the idea of me trying to farm organically? If I was to do that, I'd get I've got a mod. This is Stevie mod, where you put down a big fertilizer factory. It costs $500,000 to buy the fertilizer factory, so it's not something that we could do immediately. But there's a $500,000 euro fertilizer factory that we can use, and there's a composting plant that can go with it, and a few other bits and pieces that you can sort of add in as well if you want to. And it does actually look quite good. Do you want me to use it in this series? Do you want me to try and go organic? I mean, we're already not putting any weed killer on the fields. I mean, yes, I have disabled weeds completely on the map because I don't want to be messing around with those in this particular series. Weeds are nice. I like the fact that the weeds exist in the game. I think it's quite a nice touch. It's just, for once, I'd like to not worry about them. And same with the lime. Right? Nice that they're there. It's absolutely fantastic. And I've used them in just about everything that I've done. But just for this series, I'd like to turn off those extras and not worry about them too much. I just want to go to the very basics of things that we're doing, which is planting and harvesting. That's the very basics. Planting, we throw a bit of fertilizer on here and there. I like the fact that the tractor is going all the way up to the end of the field. It's not getting hung up on the fact that there are stumps or trees or anything halfway along, which is also really, really good. That tree over there is going to naturally cause us a bit of an issue, but I'm hoping you will have already given me some feedback as to whether or not you want me to buy up all of the in-between lands and do some stuff with them. We will see. This could make quite the difference to everything that we do. If we have the in-between lands, that could make a significant difference to how the rest of the series plays out. So I'm curious what people are going to say about that one. Now, I've done I've done 2 full loads. I said 4. There's no way we're getting 4 full loads off of this, but we might get 3 full loads, but we should do. So maybe 3.5 loads. There's no I reckon 3.5 loads. This bit that we've got left. It is 2 to do that bit. About halfway, wasn't it? Well, maybe it's not going to be far off of 4 loads. I mean, look, we're at 40% on this one already. It's going to be half filled by the time we get to the end. We've got our Sammy who's busy working up and down the field right there. As soon as he's gone on a little bit more than he's got at the moment, we can get the seed drill out, and that one can go and get started doing a bit of work. We got a lot of stuff that's happening. It's all happening here at the moment. Bring you up around this side. Slightly less up through this run, but it's not actually that much less. It was almost a completely full pass on here. You can see from where the straw was dropped. Although I did sort of start up for this little bit, and I think I was over ever so slightly. But again, it should be right. I think we'll get up and we'll get back. So we're going to have 3 lines left for the final load, which is going to put us at maybe a half a load. So we're looking at 3.5 loads. So I initially said $14,000 for the straw. Slightly less than 14,000 then by the look of it. So we're looking at, well, a half a load off of that. 12,000 maybe? Something like 12,000. That's still pretty good. $12,000 for straw off of a little tiny field like this. It's actually pretty spectacular, but we have got the easy... We've got to remember we do have the easy settings. Right? If we're keeping this on the easy settings... That does definitely make a little tiny bit of a significant difference. More than a tiny little bit of a significant difference. You're looking really good as you run along here. Look at that. He's looking absolutely fantastic as we run along here. So we've only got one more pass, one more lot to do on this. We're doing the oats, and that'll be straw as well. So we'll gather that bit up, and then there won't be any straw to deal with for a while. And then after that, I'm hoping that we will have expanded the farm enough that it just won't be worth bothering with straw. We won't spend the time and effort required. So that's almost a full load there. I'm not going to worry about filling this thing up completely. And then we'll go back and we'll get the last 3 runs. We should have expanded the farm enough by that point that we don't need to worry about going and gathering straw. We'll get straw sometimes for the cows so that we've got our total mixed ration for the cows. But other than that, straw will just get chopped from the combines and we won't worry about actually gathering it up off the fields. It's only these early stages. I mean, at the moment where we've only got like 40,000, it makes a significant difference being able to add an extra 12,000 in total to our monies. There's another 3.5 right there. We've already done 2. We've already had 7. So there's, roughly, I've very, very rough estimates here. We've had 7,000, and right now we've just gone and added in another 3.5, so that's 10,500. So whatever we get now, I said about $12,000 total. So if we get about $1,500, that'll be our 12,000. We may end up getting a bit more than that. That one racing up there, I'm sort of thinking I'll get to the other end of the field, and then we'll jump over to one of our other tractors. We get the seed drill on it, and we'll start planting the oats. Running up and down doing that. And then we can come back over to this one, and we can keep going with you. And then I might get this one going with a second cultivator in a bit, once I've finished doing all of the straw. I want to get down to this end of the field first. Right the way down to here. As soon as I've done that, then we can go and get our second tractor. Our second tractor, we can get a third tractor going here. We're going to make use of all of our tractors. It's important that we make use. We got them all here, so we may as well make use of them. Right. No, that's the one that I want. You've already got that one hooked on, so let's just lift you up and go. We will... Oh, wait a minute. We need 2 lots of fertilizer. If I was to put a round of fertilizer on now, I'd be able to put it... No, I'm not gonna bother with that. I'm not gonna bother with that. I'm gonna leave it like it is. I will deal with fertilizer afterwards. That's what we'll do. We'll deal with the fertilizer afterwards. So I'll bring you over here. I want to lower you down and open that one up and then fill up with seed like that. There is a full 1,000. Lift you up. Close the cover on that one. And then we need to change over to oats like that. So that's our third crop going in. Now, if we had the periodic ploughing, in theory, we should need to plough after doing the oats, but we won't need to. So in theory, once I did already say this, once we get to the corn, we should, in theory, have to plough afterwards, regardless of the periodic ploughing. But I don't think that's the case in this game. I don't think that's the case at all. I think that has now changed. But anyway, we'll deal with that when we get to it. You're doing fine, which means I can go to here. Start you up. I need to lower you down as well. Right, off we go. We've got the last 2 runs down through here. Well, 1 down and 1 up. And then that is all of the straw picked up. So I go and get another cultivator and put onto this tractor. And I'll start cultivating from that side of the field moving in. And then once all the cultivating is done, I will go and get a second seed drill on that Sammy Argon over there and start seeding putting the oats into the fields. This tractor, I'm thinking that it's probably time to go and sell these. We've got 1,077 on that list, which is definitely our best price so far. We got 1,100 for barley, or 1,111 actually, which is a pretty good price. As far as barley is concerned, that is a very good price. So what we've got right now, although just ticking time forward a little bit might be helpful to us, because this price is still going up. So really, we want to wait until that price reaches maximum before we worry too much about doing anything else with it. Which makes me think that if we start the seeding, we could... Maybe I'll do the fertilizer. We'll get fertilizer done right across the field. Despite the fact that half of it will be seeded and half of it won't be seeded, that's fine. We'll wait until the first growth stage before I do the second lot of fertilizer on the field. So then that's not going to be an issue anyway, and that means that we get all the fertilizer correctly applied right the way across. There's everything done. Let's pick you up right there. There's a tiny little speck of straw right there. I'm on 17,484, 17,487. I picked up 3 liters of straw right there. That's 3 liters of straw that we could have missed out on. Think of the money involved. Astronomical figures that would have been. Astronomical figure. Okay, maybe not quite, but yeah. We have cleared all the straw. I can now say absolutely 100% we've cleared all of the straw, which is nice. It's a nice feeling. It's a feeling of accomplishment, that is. And we bring you over to here like this. We'll see what that price is in a second. I've got 10,000 litres of oats in here. At the moment, the highest price is 1,687. The highest price I've seen for oats so far is 1,900. Right, that was 2,700. So we've actually ended up with about $13,000. 13,000 euros for selling straw on that field, which is pretty good, I'd say. I don't think we can complain at 13,000. That is a pretty reasonable amount of money. Now, next up, I want to go and get another cultivator over here and stick that one in the field, and we get started with that one. And then as soon as the cultivating is finished and I got the Sammy on the other seed drill, I will then get the fertilizer spinner going, and we will fertilizer spin up and down that field until that is all done, and then we can start just like fast forwarding time a little bit so that we can get the first growth stage of the crop. But at the same time, it will allow the barley price to hopefully reach its absolute maximum. I'm hoping personally, I haven't got the front weight on this tractor at the moment. I don't think we're going to need it just for doing this bit. I'm hoping personally that we get... You're doing great. What was I going to say? I'm hoping that we get better than 1,100 on here. I'm hoping that one goes up quite a bit further than 1100. I'm unsure at the moment, because it's still on 1078. It hasn't gone up by very much. I don't know what these prices are doing. Oats, it doesn't really matter. We'll leave that. I mean, 1900 is like a really good price, but I'd like to wait until we harvest. So we've got we've got the extra bit there to add into the total. The best canola price we've seen so far is 2019. And the best one we've got right now is 2005. And then we've sold those two. And corn over here, best price for corn I've seen so far is 1300. And I believe that is about the absolute maximum that you will see is roughly 1300. Like that is a huge chunk of money when it comes to trying to sell your maize. You are actually going up to the tree and then turning round quite well. So that tree may not end up being too much of a hassle when we want to expand our field, even if we can't expand as much as I'd like to. The issue is going to be that bit right there, because the land that we own dips right there. We go out to the other edge of the road, but then right there's sort of a little kink in it, which would put a kink in our plans, which I don't really like. I'd like to get rid of that. So I have to find out soon what people have been saying as to whether or not we're going to be able to do anything about this. 3 tractors all working. I'm liking this. I'm liking this 3 tractors in one field thing. Let's go up here and have a look. Helper G is blocked by an inconsiderate farmer running in front of his helpers. Let's go up here. Alright, you're turning round. We get all 3 in the view. Just. There we go. Getting better. Now we've got all 3 tractors in the view. We'll have all 3 of them will cross right about here. That's where we're going to get all 3 of them in our full field of view. Okay, over that way a little bit. Not far off. But look at that. 3 tractors running up and down the field. I mean, this is a very small field. And this is all the land we've got. Like, it's not like we've got masses and masses of acres right here. And we're running 3 tractors with 3 hired helpers at the same time up and down this field. Like, the economy of scale is not quite right on this at the moment. We kind of need to take a little bit of a look at how much we're spending out on employing 3 people full-time on a farm that is literally this strip of land right here. That is it. That's our full farm. We haven't got anything else. I mean, we've got a load of buildings. I'm hoping that we can expand things later, but right now, it really doesn't add up, does it? So what else are we going to be looking at? We're going to be wanting to sell milk at some point, and that'll come from the cows. And we can deal with that. We're going to definitely be wanting to buy the BGA at some point. Not sure when we're going to buy the BGA. I need to go to land in there, like that. 332,000. No idea when I'm going to buy that one. Absolutely no clue. I really couldn't say at the moment. Yeah, I don't really know. I'm actually thinking I'd like to buy the cows first. They're 159,000. What I used to do is when I started getting cows, I'd have that field there beside them. I mean, what I did do is that you had didn't you have greenhouses? I'm sure you had greenhouses, and I put greenhouses next to the cows, and I would just ferry the manure from the cows and stick them straight into greenhouses, and I had quite a good little system going for those. But that wasn't until later. That was the first field I got, and then I'm pretty sure I went with these 2 next before I started working on this field back over here and then getting some of these up this way. I'm 99% certain I got those 2, and these 2 fields over here were grass fields. I did these as grass fields. That was a grass field, that was a grass field, and that was a grass field. This was a grass one to start with, but I ended up not doing other stuff with it. Grass, grass, and grass. up there. That was my main grass big area up there. But then, obviously, I had those two and these here sort of all in little lines right the way through. And that was it. The rest of the fields were all arable. Even that little one over there, that was an arable one that I did. I enlarged that one as big as it could go. And that one stayed as arable along with all the rest. I used to take a huge, great big machinery right into little field 9 over there because I didn't want that one as grass. It was too far away from all the other grass fields to make it worthwhile dragging the machinery down there. So I would leave it as it is. These 4 here, I did sometimes do... I think I started off doing these as arable fields, and then ultimately I decided, no, I wanted these as grass fields because I wasn't able to produce enough otherwise for feeding my cows. I think that's what I ended up doing. I genuinely don't remember properly which way round I had those. Right, you here, Mr. Sammy Argon, once you get up to this end, we've actually just about finished the field now, so you're going to go to there. I'm going to lift that one out. We will fold up the cultivator because that's all done with. And we're going to drive you back to the yard, and we're going to go and get the other seed drill. And then the Fent can go and just finish off the cultivating while you get the seed drill on and you start working from the other end of the field. The Fent will then be able to finish up doing that bit and then go and get the fertilizer spinner on that I said that it was going to do before anyway. And start working on the fertilizer up and down the field, and then all we've got to do is wait a little bit for the first growth stage and we can get the second round of fertilizer on the field. That will also hopefully allow the price of the barley to increase ever so slightly, so we can get a decent price on the barley. We can go and sell all of that. 1100 per 1,000 litres. We're not going to break any records. We've only got 36,000 litres, I think. Isn't it? Is it 36? 35. 35,000 litres in there. So at 1,100 per 1,000 litres, we're going to end up with what? 40 grand-ish? Not even that much. Just under 40 grand is what we're going to end up with. So we're not breaking any records. Bring you back that way and lower you down there like that, and then I want to load you up with seeds. We want oats. Close it, lift it, and off we go. Right, let's get you planting. What's that tractor doing up there? Think he's actually gonna... Oh, I see. He's reversing back up across the field because he's got a tiny little bit left still to do. Right there. I don't quite know why he's reversing across the field to go and do that bit. It does do some very strange things sometimes, doesn't it? Why are you reversing all the way back down here? I know why, because he's going to go and turn round and just do a tiny, tiny bit on that end of the field, which I don't want it to do. So he's saying he's completed his task right there. I'm going to lower that down there, and I think actually most of the field up across here is done now. Go to fruit. If I go to growth over here, like that, there isn't any strip up through here that still needs to be done. I don't actually need to be doing this. This is just tire tracks. I think we've relived enough glory days just for a moment. We're going to take a breather. We're going to have a little bite to eat. And then we can get back to it, nice and refreshed, and relive a few more glory days. There should be some names coming up right now that you can have a look at. It's names of people who are in the Great Book of Names, people who have supported this channel, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart. So if you've enjoyed this episode, then please head down below and give us a like. And if you really enjoyed it, then please tell your friends all about me. Get them to come and watch as well. That would be awesome. And until next time, thank you very much for watching. This is Frithgar. Goodbye, and see you later.